Hey, what is going on guys? My name is InTheGamerTag and I'm back for another Fortnite video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a full guide to completing all of the Fortnite Season 4 Week 1 challenges. Obviously Season 4 just came out literally today, so of course we have a full new Week 1 of challenges in this season, and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering what some of the challenges might mean, how to go about completing them. So today I want to share with you guys the most time efficient and easiest way of completing each and every single challenge. There's absolutely no method to completing these challenges easier than in this video. So let's not waste any time and let's go ahead and start with these challenges. So the very first challenge of Season 4 Week 1 is to search chests at Dirty Docks. This is obviously a relatively straightforward challenge. It's very simple to understand what it means. You simply need to land over at Dirty Docks on the map and just search a total of 7 chests. Now I will say there's actually a way to make this challenge easier, believe it or not. So this is a challenge I consider a scavenge challenge. Basically a scavenge challenge is when you need to search something or you need to collect something in the Fortnite game in order to complete a challenge. These are best completed in a Team Rumble game mode. Obviously in Team Rumble you can respawn infinite times. You're not eliminated if you do obviously get outgunned by other opponents. No matter what happens, you can respawn, and honestly there's way less of a nuisance and pressure. Where if you were to try to complete these challenges in solo, duos, or squads game modes, they can take several games just to complete it. Whereas if you do a challenge like this in a Team Rumble game, you can easily complete it in one game alone. So again, go ahead and land over in Dirty Docks and just go around the map and search 7 chests. It's not too difficult. Dirty Docks probably has a total of like 20 plus chests, so as long as you're able to get 7 chests before anybody else, you have in fact completed this challenge. The next challenge is to get 3 eliminations over at Hedges. Now this is not a scavenger challenge, meaning this challenge is better off completed in a public game mode like solos, duos, or squads. Obviously we want to go ahead and land over in Hedges. You can already bet there's going to be a countless amount of players landing here for the sole purpose of this challenge alone. So to be able to find 3 people should not take you guys much difficulty or time in any means necessary. So go ahead and land at Hedges at one of the houses you like, try to get some decent inventory, and then at this point what I really recommend, considering there's going to be so many people here, is just to sit on a roof and get third-party eliminations. It's not too difficult. For me, I think I got my first elimination in like a garage and kind of like a 50-50 fight, and then after this I just went on the roof and kind of just picked people off as I could. I was able to eliminate someone while they were in other gunfights, and you guys should be able to do pretty much the exact same thing. Honestly, to get 3 eliminations at Hedges is not difficult, and I'm sure you guys know this. And do not worry, you don't have to get all 3 eliminations in one game. This does not matter as long as you actually do this throughout the entirety of Season 4. Literally just 3 eliminations at Hedges in Season 4. Regardless of how many games it takes, you'll be able to complete this challenge. So for me, I think my first game I got 2 eliminations, and then I was able to actually pick off my 3rd and final elimination a few games later. Now the next challenge is to collect floating rings at Misty Meadows. We need to actually collect a total of 4. And again, this is going to be a scavenger challenge, meaning load this up in a Team Rumble game. So you want to go ahead and land over at Misty Meadows. The first ring that we're going to collect is actually at the very top of the clock tower. So when you're landing, you can either land on here or you can simply build your way up. And the best part about Team Rumble is you start off with, I believe, 450 materials. So you don't have to mind, you can simply just build up here at the very start. Now the next floating ring is actually going to be over here kind of in like the corner area, and it's going to be kind of on this pavilion roof. So basically you can fly over here because of course Team Rumble does have glider redeploy, and go ahead and collect this floating ring on top of this roof. The next floating ring I believe is going to be adjacent to this building. So go over here to the other side of Misty Meadows and you guys can see that the 3rd floating ring is actually going to be located right here. Now the 4th one is actually kind of not even in Misty Meadows. So basically we're actually going to go below Misty Meadows. So if you look at the map below where it says Misty Meadows, like under the wording itself, there's actually going to be one building or cabin or whatever you'd like to consider this, and the 4th and final floating ring is actually going to be on top of this building. So simply go ahead and make your way down or up here and collect your 4th and final floating ring over in Misty Meadows. So believe it or not, that's all you have to do to complete that challenge. Honestly, not that difficult, especially if you follow the route that I shared with you guys. The next challenge is to eliminate Stark robots at Quinjet patrol landing sites, and we need to eliminate a total of 5. Now these can be completed in either Team Rumble or a regular solo duo or squad game. It does not really matter, and it won't necessarily make a difference. So you guys are probably wondering, like, what are these landing sites that are being referred to? So at the very start of the game, you'll see that there's pretty much going to be around 4 or 5 jets that fly past you, and then they're actually going to eventually land on the map. So you guys can actually pull up your map, and you'll see scattered throughout the map there's going to be several little like jet looking icons, and this basically is representation of a landing site. So go ahead and make your way over to one of these landing sites, and basically what it is, it's going to be these jets that are landed, and it's going to have Stark robots that are kind of patrolling the area around it. So you simply need to go ahead and eliminate a total of 5 of these. For me, I was able to sneak behind a player, pick him off, I think I even pickaxed him to eliminate him, and then basically from here, all I had to do and all you would have to do in this scenario is just eliminate all 5 of them. It's truthfully not that difficult. Now do make sure you do not make the same mistake that I do. I actually went ahead and hacked one of them, and the problem with this is basically you're unable to eliminate this and have it count to your challenge. So if you hack it, unfortunately you're only eliminating 4, and then the 5th one again right here that is hacked is unable to be eliminated. So do not hack them, just make sure you fully eliminate all of them. And this is actually going to lead us to the next challenge, because these robots drop an item known as the Stark Industries Energy Rifle. So basically the next challenge is to deal damage to opponents with Stark Industries energy rifles, and we need to deal a total of 1000 damage. Believe it or not, you can actually deal damage to the Stark robots when you first eliminate them for the previous challenge, and it will in fact count towards this challenge as long as you use the Stark Industries energy rifles. So again, eliminate a robot, it will drop one of these rifles, pick it up, and then just basically take shots at the robots that are knocked, and this will actually go towards the damage needed for this challenge. You can now make your way around the map and also just deal damage to other opponents, and obviously of course this will also count as progression towards completing this challenge. Again, you actually need to deal a total of 1000 damage. So if you were to basically eliminate all of the Stark robots, you would have 500 damage from that alone. So all you really need to do is get around 2.5 to 5 eliminations in a regular game when using this item. The next challenge is to gas up a vehicle at Lazy Lake. This is actually really easy, if not the easiest challenge of this entire week and video. Simply land over at Lazy Lake. There's actually going to be 2 gas stations you can choose from. Basically, I just landed at this one because it was the best case scenario for my landing position. Literally, just go to a gas pump, use it on a vehicle that is more than likely going to be at the gas station already, and that's all you have to do. You've actually now completed this challenge. Again, this one is the easiest. Truthfully, this probably takes around 2.5 seconds at most in order to complete this. So the next challenge is to eliminate Dr. Doom at Doom's Domain. So Doom's Domain is a new point of interest, and this is actually going to be kind of in replacement of Pleasant Park. So if you don't already know where that is, basically just land where I am landing, and this is now known as Doom's Domain. So Dr. Doom can actually be located anywhere throughout Doom's Domain, unfortunately. This basically isn't the best case scenario for us because we don't know where he is, and Doom's Domain is a rather large point of interest. It does seem, however, more times than not, he's actually going to be located at this bottom layer where the helicopter spawns. It seems like he's just in general patrolling this area. So what you need to do is you need to find anything to use against him and eliminate him. He's basically like a boss. I'm sure a lot of you guys can remember Kit or Jules from the Authority. Basically, he's the exact same thing. However, he is pretty much about 10 times as powerful. So do make sure you do have some builds or defense against him, because in my case I was just about to eliminate him. However, I got double teamed by him and another opponent, and he absolutely demolished me. But realistically, all you need to do again is just eliminate him. However, the challenge is not done there. Believe it or not, you actually have to do this a total of 3 times in order to complete this challenge in its entirety. So if you eliminate him 1 time, you can do it in another game. Basically, as long as you eliminate him 3 times throughout the entirety of Season 4, you would have completed this challenge. The next and final challenge of the Season 4 Week 1 challenge guides is actually going to be to deal damage to opponents at Craggy Cliffs, and we need to deal a total of 500 damage. This challenge is not a scavenger challenge, so you're best off completing this in a solos, duos, or squads game, of course. Land over at Craggy Cliffs. This is now a named point of interest on the Fortnite map. And basically, again, we need to just deal a total of 500 damage. Initially, it sounds like a lot, but if you break it down, what this means is you need to get anywhere from 2.5 to 5 eliminations over at Craggy Cliffs, and this challenge would be completed. Now, basically, there's a little tip or a piece of advice I can give you guys to make this challenge much easier. And that is simply just to do this challenge in a duos or squad game mode. And if you're wondering why, basically, of course, in duos or squads, when you knock an opponent, they're not completely eliminated. They're now knocked on the ground, and you're able to continuously deal damage to them to fully eliminate them. Solos obviously does not have this option. Once you eliminate somebody, they're not knocked, they're completely taken out of the game. So in duos or squads, let's say you deal 100 damage to an opponent and they are now knocked. This gives us the opportunity to deal an extra 100 damage on them, whereas if we run a solos game, again, that would not even be a possibility. So that's pretty much the very quick and little piece of advice that I can give you guys, but truthfully it does make a large difference. So again, just deal a total of 500 damage at Craggy Cliffs and try to complete this in a duos or squad game modes if you would just like it to be a bit easier on you. Now, believe it or not, that is all of the Season 4 Week 1 challenges. I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably a bit confused on how to complete some of them, but I really do hope after watching the entirety of this video, it made it a lot easier for you guys, and I can absolutely guarantee you the methods and routes and general guide that is shared in today's video is by far the best method you can use and the most time efficient. There's no other way to go about completing these challenges easier than I shared with you guys in this video. Now, if you enjoyed today's video or found it helpful, a like would be beyond appreciated down below. And of course, on the contrary, if you genuinely disliked today's video, then feel free to leave a dislike. And if you're new around here and would like to see more daily Fortnite content like this in the future, feel free to subscribe as well as turning on those post notifications. Nonetheless, my name is Gamertag. Thank you all for watching today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Adios.